It started as a simple piece of furniture, a lamp with an antique charm, sitting on a dusty shelf at an estate sale. Its intricate carvings and soft, golden glow seemed like the perfect addition to my apartment. I never thought twice about it, but from the moment I brought it home, everything changed. The light wasn't just illuminating my room, it was watching me, and when the marks began to appear, I realized this lamp had a sinister purpose. If you ever see a lamp like this, beautiful, timeless, but somehow wrong, walk away. Don't touch it, because once you've been marked, there's no escaping what comes next. The estate sale wasn't even my idea. My roommate, Jenna, had dragged me there on a lazy Saturday afternoon, hoping to snag some vintage decor for our living room. The house itself was massive, a decaying Victorian with peeling paint and boarded-up windows. The kind of place that felt like it had 100 stories to tell, none of them good. Among the clutter of forgotten belongings, I saw it, a lamp tucked away in a corner, almost as if it had been deliberately hidden. Its brass base was adorned with intricate carvings, twisting vines that seemed to pulse under the light. The shade was made of stained glass, its colors shifting subtly as though alive. It was mesmerizing. I don't know what possessed me, but I picked it up and held it close. "You really want that?" Jenna asked, wrinkling her nose. "It looks creepy," but I ignored her. Something about the lamp felt personal, like it was meant for me. I bought it for $20, haggling down the elderly woman running the sale. She seemed eager to get rid of it, practically shoving it into my arms. As I left, I thought I heard her mutter something under her breath. I couldn't make out the words, but her tone was heavy with warning. I shrugged it off. It was just a lamp, right? Back home, I placed a lamp on my bedside table and plugged it in. When I turned it on, the light was unlike anything I'd seen before. Warm but unsettling, casting intricate shadows that danced across the walls. It filled the room with an odd sense of weight, as though the air had thickened. That night, I had a dream. I was standing in an endless field of darkness, the only light coming from the lamp in my hand. The glow revealed faint silhouettes in the distance, figures standing perfectly still. As I walked closer, I realized they weren't people, they were statues, and each one bore a distinct mark, a glowing symbol carved into their foreheads. When I woke up, the room felt cold despite the lamp's warm light. I reached up to rub my forehead, and that's when I noticed it, a faint, circular imprint on my skin, barely visible but unmistakable. I didn't think much of it at first. The mark faded after a few hours, and I chalked it up to a weird coincidence. But things got stranger. Every night, the dream returned. Each time, the field grew darker, the silhouettes closer. And each morning, I'd wake up with the mark on my forehead, brighter, clearer, lasting longer. I stopped telling Jenna about it after the second night. She already thought I was overreacting. "It's probably just stress," she said with a shrug. "You've been working crazy hours." But I knew it wasn't stress. It was the lamp. I tried unplugging it, even locking it in the closet, but the light would still seep through, golden and unrelenting. The dreams wouldn't stop, and the mark only grew stronger. One evening, I decided to investigate the lamp more closely. I ran my fingers over the carvings on its base, feeling their sharp, unnatural grooves. Beneath the vines, there were symbols, ancient, unreadable, yet oddly familiar. I took a photo and uploaded it to an online forum dedicated to obscure artifacts. Within minutes, my inbox exploded with messages. Most were useless speculation, but one caught my eye. The message read, "Destroy it. Now. If you've been marked, there's little time. The lamp chooses its victims carefully." I replied, desperate for answers. The user, someone named Armitage, explained that the lamp was an ancient object passed down through generations, leaving a trail of disappearances in its wake. The marks weren't just a curse, they were a claim. "The lamp doesn't just illuminate," Armitage wrote. "It reveals. And once it marks you, you're no longer safe. It knows your every move." The next night, I woke to find the lamp glowing brightly, though I hadn't turned it on. The room was bathed in that golden hue, and the shadows it cast seemed alive, stretching and twisting like living things. I felt a presence in the room, a weight pressing down on me. The air was thick with the smell of burning metal. I tried to move, but my body was frozen. In the corner of my eye, I saw them, the figures from my dream. No longer statues, they moved with slow, deliberate steps, their eyes glowing with the same golden light. Their foreheads bore the same mark I'd seen in the dreams, now etched deeply into their flesh. "You're one of us now," one of them whispered, their voice hollow and echoing. "The lamp has chosen." I screamed, breaking free from the paralysis, and threw the lamp against the wall. The glass shattered, the light extinguished. For a moment, I thought I was free, but when I turned back, the lamp was whole again, sitting on my bedside table as though nothing had happened. Desperate, I tracked down the woman who had sold me the lamp. Her house was dark, the windows covered in thick curtains. When she opened the door, her eyes widened with fear. "You didn't get rid of it," she said, backing away. "It's too late now." She explained that the lamp had belonged to her late husband, who had become obsessed with it. He'd spent hours staring into its light, muttering about the figures and the marks. One night, he vanished without a trace, leaving only the lamp behind. "It doesn't stop," she said, her voice trembling. "Once it marks you, it won't rest until it takes you." I begged her for help, but she shook her head. "There's no escaping it. You can only delay the inevitable." That night, I decided to end it. If the lamp wanted me, I would face it head on. I sat in my room, the lamp glowing brighter than ever. The shadows on the walls coalesced into shapes, arms, faces, twisting and writhing as they reached for me. The mark on my forehead burned, searing into my skin. I picked up a hammer, ready to destroy the lamp once and for all. But as I raised it, the light flared, blinding me. When my vision cleared, I wasn't in my room anymore. I was in the field from my dreams, surrounded by the figures. They closed in, their hollow eyes fixed on me. "You can't fight it," one of them said. "The lamp doesn't just mark its victims. It collects them." I felt my body growing heavier, my limbs turning stiff. I looked down and saw my skin hardening, turning to stone. The mark on my forehead glowed brighter, sealing my fate. I don't know how I'm still here, how I'm able to tell this story. Maybe the lamp allows its victims one final act, a warning to those who come next. If you ever see a lamp like this, with its golden glow and intricate carvings, leave it where it stands. Don't let curiosity get the better of you, because once the lamp marks you, there's no escaping its grasp. It knows your every move, and it won't stop until it takes you too.